Hey Techno Studs, I thought we could take a look in Wireshark to see what the differences are between layer 2s and layer 3 addresses. So what I've done is I pulled up a website, it's wikipedia.org, and then I've actually went to a page, so information is being transferred back and forth. I've looked at one of these frames now, and let's take a look at the layer 2 addressing and the layer 3 addressing and the differences between those two. So here we have on the layer 3 here, we've got an address of 192, a source address of 192.168.42.45, and that is the local machine. Just to prove it to you, I can bring up a command prompt, type in IP config, and on here I see that IP address right there. It's a .45 address. All right, it is going to a destination address of 198.35.26.96. So if I were to do to look that up, that is the host address of the Wikipedia site. So that's where this packet is going to. All right, but from a MAC address standpoint or a layer 2 standpoint, I've got this address right here, 54.13.79.94 5FFF. It's a hexadecimal number. So where is that? Well, if I look this up, I can do that IP config, and this time I'll do a /all. I'll look at that Wi-Fi interface once again with that IP address that's associated with it, and it's the MAC address of that machine. So that's no surprise. So both the source and the destination, or excuse me, both the source IP address and the source MAC address are from the same machine. Okay, that makes sense so far. Okay, now what we see is the destination is 18E82920 5EF7. So that's the destination MAC address. Now, what is the destination from a layer 2 standpoint? Well, let's take a look at that. I'm going to this time type in ARP-A to see all of the ARP table that we have, and I can see that this MAC address shows up right here, and the IP address associated with that MAC address is 192.168.42.1. Does that sound like the default gateway? Let me see. I'm going to type in IP config again, and I look at this Wi-Fi connection right here with the address, and I see 192.168.42.1 is the default gateway. So there you have it. The layer 3 destination IP address is that remote machine that's somewhere out there in the world. But the destination MAC address is the local default gateway. And so what's going to happen is that this is going to be sent from a layer 2 perspective to that local default gateway. And then at that point in time, that information is no longer valid as it routes that traffic and sends it to its next destination. It gets rid of that layer 1 and layer 2. But it keeps that layer 3 because that layer 3 IP address is going to remain the same until it gets to its destination. It's the MAC address that's going to keep changing for every single hop. And in fact, there might be different technologies along the way. So maybe it's not a MAC address at all. Maybe it's a different type of layer 2 address depending on the technology that's used from one gateway or from one router to the next router. So it's going to change as it goes from layer 3 device to layer 3 device. So there you have it. There's the difference visually, the difference between a layer 2 address, MAC address, and a layer 3 IP address.